Hello there. Today we will be seeing something on Git. So what is Git? Git is actually a source control management system. To be in simple words, it's a tool using which you can track the changes in your project and version your project and can go back and review changes and see who made those changes, and in the future if you want to track bugs, track new versions, and try out something new without affecting the existing projects. All those things can be done easily with Git. Usually, without Git, what we would do is we would have project, and if you want to try out new things or if you want to advance without affecting the existing working project, we would create another folder and name it something like my project version 2, and we make another version by copying the same folder and pasting and saying version 3. So this is kind of cumbersome and it's not always um, suggested, and it would become impossible to track in case of large projects like kernels and other big projects which would have thousands of files and folders to track. So at that point of time, everyone would like to use a source control management system. So today let's see how to use Git and how we can manage our project, version our project, and try out new things without affecting our existing project. So for that, first you need to download and install Git in your computer. So for that you can go to this URL, and the URL is in the description, and there you can download Git for your respective platform, whether it's Mac, Linux or Windows. Once you have done that, open up a terminal and go to a directory. We can simply use it for a demo. So I like to go into sites and then into the static folder. There create a folder called something like demo, so that we can have a demo website, and open that in your code editor. And now this is the folder where I'm going to create my website. So for that, initially I'm gonna create a simple uh, kind of a page like index.html, simply for the demo sake. And let me create a boilerplate HTML document like git demo, and here I'm gonna put um, hello world. Save that, open the folder, uh, and just try running the actual file, and we have hello world. Okay, now we have a project and now we have a file. Now how to make sure that we track these file changes and make our project under the control of Git? So for that we have to execute a command called git init. Every git command would start with git, which is the actual program which is gonna control our project, and everything which is tracked by git is called a git repo. So whenever we say git init, it would create a git repo or repository. So it says initialized git repository. Now it has started tracking our project. Now how we are actually going to make sure that our files are getting tracked, and it is able to see these are the changes that we have made. So for that we have to first see git status. So what git status is what is the status of the repository, and it says something like untracked file index.html. So what are called untracked files? Git manages files in different names. One name is called untracked files. Untracked files are not seen by Git. They won't be seen for these kind of files for changes. So these are called untracked files. Whenever you create a new file, that will go into something called untracked file. Right? And then to add this to the Git to be tracked, you have to say git add and index.html, the file name. So now if I say git status, it should say changes to be committed, and a new file index.html. So this is how you make sure that the files are getting added to the Git repo so that they are getting tracked. And Git manages three uh, stages. One is working stage, where you are actually making changes to the file and it's not actually reflected into the repo. So it's kind of in a stage where you're working. And the second stage is called indexing stage. Indexing stage is like you have made sure that okay, this is what I want and I am about to make this into a new version. So those files go into the index stage. And finally the repo stage, which is the repo which is actually having a latest version. So it's into the main project that it is being already, it has been already tracked and it has been made into a version. So that is called the repo stage. So these are the three stages. So first we have moved our file from untracked stage to working stage. So we have added this file. Now we can add any file to the index file by saying git add and index.html. So this we already done, and we have added our file to the index stage. Now how we make a version out of it? So for that we say git commit -m and the message. So what is this commit? Commit is nothing but kind of creating a new version, and -m is for doing it with a message. So what's need of a message? So whenever you're creating a new version, you'd say what are the files you added, what are the changes you made. So this is necessary for you to look back at the future, so you know what you did actually. So I'm gonna say create index.html, and it's preferable that you use a present tense, not past tense, not like create index.html. So make sure you use a present tense and hit enter. Now if you see, by using git log, it would say we have create index.html and it has some kind of a hexadecimal number. So what is this hexadecimal number? What git does is, whenever you're doing a commit, it takes all the files in the repo and finds hash out of it, and that hash is used to mark a particular version. So if you're creating another version, that would come under it, and it's gonna have a parent as this one, which will be referred using this hash. So this hash is used to uniquely identify each version or commit. Okay, now let me make another version. So let me here say hello world new version, something like that. If I save, now if I say git status, it says modified. So we have modified a file called index.html. So git is able to detect that. Now I want to see what are the changes I made to the particular file. So for that we can use the command git diff index.html. Now here you can see clearly that I changed hello world to hello world new version. So this is which is getting removed and this is what is getting added. So Git is clearly able to say what are the change you have already made. Now if you don't want this change, you don't want this to be happening, you did it by mistake, what you can do is you can say git checkout and the file name, which is going to be index.html. Now if you go back to a text editor and see, it's back, there is no change. So this is how Git helps you to immediately reverse it to the earlier version, rather than you doing something by mistake and screwing up your whole project. So that's the concept of Git. Now I want to bring it back actually. So for that what I'm gonna say is new version. So for timing version, let me save that. Now if I say git status, it should say I have a modified file. Now I would like to, this is actually in the working stage, so now we have to make it into the stage for index stage, which is kind of saying I'm gonna make a version of it, so keep note of it. So like that, git add index.html. now we can make a new comment -m edit index.html. so now we have two commits. So we say git log, we can also use the option one line, which would be more easy to see. So we have two things, which is the current thing, which is edit.html. now if you want to look at what this stage was, what you can do is you can actually copy this one and say git checkout and paste that and hit it enter. Now if you can see, our repo is having an old file, not the new file. Now if I say git checkout master, now we see there is a new version which was previously hello world. So this is how we switch between two different versions using git checkout. Fine. Now the next thing is that now I have a version, but I actually don't want it. I just want the first version. I'm gonna actually remove this version. I don't want this at all. So for that, what you can do is git, first of all you make sure that before doing these kind of changes you have the commit ID of the branch which you are going to sorry, of the commit which you are going to remove. So just have a copy of that. Now say git revert, and you give the actual to which commit you want to switch by actually forgetting everything else. So you say 8D16C02. So not reverse. I hope it's kind of sorry, reset. So reset is the command for that, and we're gonna do something called hard reset. So which would remove every file, whatever being edited, and go to the older version. If I hit enter, now if I say git log one line, you see only there is one commit, no other commit. So this is how you remove commit, but I actually don't want this to happen. So what I can do is I can actually still they exist, they will be only removed after kind of a garbage collection. So you can still go back to the versions which were removed. Now if I say git log online, we still have the two commits. Now if I want to edit the commit message of the current commit, what we do? So for that we have to do git commit hyphen amend hyphen m, say edit index.html content. Now if I say git log hyphen one line, now you can see we have one message which is being already edited. Okay, now the important stage. Now I'm going to make some changes to my actual file, and that's going to be kind of groundbreaking change, and I don't want to actually screw my existing project. So what we're gonna do, we do this in git using something called branches. So we branch out from the existing project, like creating another folder and working on that and not affecting the existing project. So for that we can use the command git branch and the branch name. So I'm gonna say it like add more content. Now if I use the command git branch, it would say what are the actual branches available in the project. So first let me say git checkout add more content. Now if I say git branch, it says add more content and it's master. So we are in a new branch, so we can actually play around with this whatever you want, like go ahead, say paragraph git is really awesome. Once you start using it, you will love it. So save that. Now if I say git status, it says modify file git add hyphen a git commit hyphen m add more content to index.html. Now if I say git checkout master, there won't be that change because we did it in a different branch. So if I go git checkout, add more content, now that's exists. Now how we make this change available in our master branch? We are satisfied with it, make it our existing project. So for that we can do is we first check out into the master branch and say git merge, and the branch we need to merge is add more content. So now what it does, it merges our old branch with our master branch. Now we don't want the branch which we use, so what we can do is we can just say git branch hyphen d and the add more and the branch name. That would delete the branch. Now if I say git branch, that's just master. Now what I'm doing is I'm gonna go ahead do more changes, like I do something like that, type in, and now suddenly my friend comes and he wants a fresh project and wants to try out new ideas. So what we can do is, we don't want our changes to be removed immediately, but we want it to be a temporary stage. So what we can do is we can use something called git stash. So what git stash is, it will save whatever you're working on into the kind of a drawer where you can actually get back it after you have worked out with the project. So now we can how to get it back. So we can say git stash, I hope it's pop command. Now we have that back, we have the old changes which we made back from the drawer. So now we can continue work. So this is how we use. So whatever I have shared with you now is a very little, a drop of git, but there are a lot of things that you can do with git, like conflicts in merge, what are the types of merge you can do, and merge commit, normal commit. But this is all you need to get started and to know git. So hope you like the video. If you like the video, hit the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button. Thank you.